Hello everyone, and welcome. Today we're exploring how travel and history are deeply connected. We'll visit American towns with difficult pasts, not to judge, but to understand. Travel can foster empathy, but only if we approach places with open eyes and hearts. By learning the real stories behind the places we visit, we become more thoughtful, respectful travelers. Let's begin this journey together. Our journey begins in Harrison, Arkansas, nestled in the Ozark Mountains. Harrison is known less for its scenery and more for its reputation as a former sundown town, shaped by violent race riots in the early 1900s. The legacy of exclusion lingers, making the town's history impossible to ignore. For travelers, this isn't about avoidance, it's about awareness. Visiting means recognizing the pain in the town's past and the reality that some visitors may feel unwelcome. But there's more. Local groups like the Harrison Community Task Force on Race Relations are working to change the narrative. Supporting these efforts and local businesses is a way to encourage progress. Harrison is not just its history, it's also a place of ongoing change. Thoughtful travel here means listening, learning, and reflecting on how the past shapes the present. It's not a typical vacation spot, but it's a place for meaningful engagement. By understanding the full story, we help transform travel into a force for empathy. Every visit is a chance to support those pushing for a better future. That's what makes the experience truly valuable. Next, we head to Vidor, Texas, long infamous as a sundown town and a stronghold of the KKK. Its reputation was cemented in the 1990s during a tense public housing desegregation crisis. The town's past is painful, but ignoring it erases the efforts of those working for change. In recent years, some residents have spoken out, pushing for a more inclusive community. For travelers, visiting Vidor means acknowledging its racist history while also seeking out signs of progress. Learn about the events that shaped the town, but also notice the people striving for reconciliation. Vidor is not a monolith, it's a community in transition. Responsible travel here means supporting local initiatives and engaging with empathy. It's about witnessing the slow, difficult process of change. By understanding both the darkness and the hope, we travel with purpose. Every step in Vidor is a lesson in the courage it takes to confront the past. Change is happening even if it's slow. That's worth seeing. In Anna, Illinois, a persistent rumor claims the town's name stands for Ain't No N Allowed. Whether true or not, the story reflects a real history. Anna was a sundown town that violently expelled its black residents in the early 20th century. The town's reputation is a reminder of how stories and names can carry the weight of exclusion. Today, some residents are working to redefine Anna's identity and build a more welcoming community. For travelers, it's not about confronting locals, but about understanding the legacy that shapes the town. Visiting Anna means reflecting on how history lingers in names, places, and people. The beauty of Southern Illinois is real, but so is the shadow of its past. Thoughtful travel here is about empathy and awareness. It's a chance to see beyond the surface and ask deeper questions about memory and reconciliation. Every visit is an opportunity to witness change in progress. Forsyth County, Georgia, is now a thriving Atlanta suburb, but its past is marked by one of America's most notorious racial cleansings. In 1912, white mobs drove out over 1,000 black residents, and the county remained almost exclusively white for decades. The 1987 civil rights marches brought national attention and marked a turning point. Today, Forsyth is far more diverse, but its prosperity is built on a foundation of injustice. For travelers, it's important to recognize both the transformation and the history beneath it. Visit the historical markers, reflect on the land's past, and understand that demographic change doesn't erase old wounds. Forsyth's story is a lesson in how places can change and how the past always lingers. Traveling here means engaging with both progress and pain. It's a place to reflect on America's complex journey. The present is brighter, but the past must not be forgotten. That's the real story of Forsyth. Pella, Iowa is famous for its Dutch heritage and tulip festival, but its story is about quiet exclusion. Founded by Dutch immigrants, Pella remained overwhelmingly white for generations, not through violence, but through cultural insularity. The town's focus on preserving heritage created invisible barriers for outsiders, especially people of color. Today, Pella is slowly becoming more diverse, but the legacy of exclusion remains. For travelers, it's a chance to consider what makes a place feel welcoming. Enjoy the beauty and culture, but ask, who is included and who is left out? Pella's story is a reminder that racism isn't always loud. It can be silent and systemic. Thoughtful travel means noticing what's celebrated and what's missing. It's about observing a community as it grapples with inclusion. Even subtle histories matter. Vidalia, Georgia, is known for its sweet onions, but its history is rooted in the struggles of race and labor. The region's agricultural wealth was built on the backs of black laborers, often exploited and denied rights. The story of the Vidalia onion is also a story of who benefited and who didn't. For travelers, enjoying the local food is part of the experience, but so is learning about the area's history of inequality. Visit local museums, ask questions, and recognize the layers beneath the rural charm. Vidalia's prosperity is intertwined with a legacy of injustice. Every bite of an onion carries a deeper story. Traveling here means seeing beyond the brand to the people and history behind it. It's about understanding how history shapes even the simplest things. That's what makes the visit meaningful. Laramie, Wyoming is forever linked to the 1998 murder of Matthew Shepard, a hate crime that galvanized LGBTQ+ rights. The tragedy stained the town's reputation, but it also sparked change. In the years since, Laramie has worked to become more inclusive, with resource centers, memorials, and ongoing activism. For travelers, visiting Laramie is a poignant experience, honoring Matthew's memory while witnessing a community's response. The town's journey is about confronting hate and fostering healing. Support local businesses and institutions committed to inclusion. Laramie's story is a reminder that tragedy can lead to progress. Thoughtful travel here means recognizing both the pain and the resilience. It's a place to reflect on the fight for equality. Healing and hope are part of the landscape. Cairo, Illinois was once a booming port city, now a haunting symbol of decline tied to racial strife. Decades of violence and resistance to civil rights tore the town apart, leading to economic collapse and depopulation. The beautiful buildings now stand empty, reminders of what was lost to hate. For travelers, Cairo is a living lesson in the consequences of division. It's not just about economic misfortune, it's about the cost of failing to overcome racism. Visiting Cairo is sobering but important. It's a place to bear witness, not to gawk. The story here is about lost potential and the price of intolerance. Reflection is the real reason to visit. Cairo's ruins are a warning from history. Pulaski, Tennessee is the birthplace of the Ku Klux Klan, a legacy the town can't escape. For years, Pulaski did little to confront this history, even hosting Klan rallies. Recently, however, residents have pushed back, organizing counter-demonstrations and rejecting the Klan's ideology. The town is working to redefine itself and confront its past. For travelers, Pulaski is a place to reflect on how hate can take root and how communities can fight back. Visit the Klan's founding site as a place of sober reflection, not celebration. Learn about both the origins of hate and the modern efforts to overcome it. Support those who stand for unity and change. Pulaski's story is complex, but it's also about courage. Confronting history is the first step toward healing. Opelousas, Louisiana is known for Zydeco music and Creole food, but also for the 1868 massacre that crushed Black political power. Hundreds were killed in a wave of violence that was long left unspoken. Only recently have locals begun to acknowledge and teach this history. For travelers, Opelousas is a place of both joy and pain. Celebrate the vibrant culture, but also seek out the stories of survival and resilience. The roots of Zydeco are in soil marked by tragedy. Thoughtful travel means holding both the music and the memory. Learn about the massacre, visit historical sites, and honor the past. Culture here is an act of survival and defiance. That's what makes Opelousas unforgettable. That brings us to the end of our journey today. We've explored towns with difficult histories, not to shame, but to understand. Traveling with awareness transforms us into more empathetic, engaged people. If you value this kind of learning, consider joining our community. Let's keep building a movement of thoughtful travelers. Until next time, travel safe and travel with heart.